What's up, Ragin Nation? How y'all doing? This is Alex. You watching the Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. Last weekend I saw Oblivion. It's directed by Joseph Kosinski. It's his second film since he directed Tron Legacy, and it is starring Tom Cruise, Morgan Freeman, Olga Kurylenko, Andrea Riseborough, and Melissa Leo. And this is a sci-fi movie. And when I say sci-fi movie, I mean just that. It is not a sci-fi action movie. It is a sci-fi movie with action in it. Now, I find that the story is very, very unique. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about the story. You have the sci-fi movie taking place in the year 2077. The Earth is completely ravaged after an alien invasion, which the humans won against this alien race called the Scavs. Okay, and Jack, which is Tom Cruise's character, he works with Andrea Riseborough's character, Victoria, and Jack goes down to the surface to repair drones. And what are these drones used for? These drones are they just patrol the surface, and they just take care of any existing scab threats. That means they eliminate them or they terminate them. So that is basically the premise of the movie. But when you watch the trailer, you know there's much more to it. There appears to be some sort of a human resistance led by Morgan Freeman, and that's all you really know about it. But there really is a lot more to it than that, and you're constantly asking yourself this question when you're watching the movie, and that is, what is really going on here? You know there's something going on. You know there's something fishy. You know there's more than just Jack repairing drones. So what is it? And that is the big question about this movie. And in my opinion, this is what kept me completely engaged to the film. Now, this is a very, I would say, more of a slow-paced movie. I personally didn't have a problem with that. I was completely engaged with the story because it is a very story-driven movie. You're constantly trying to wonder, what is going on here? What is this all about? And what is the big mystery? And it is gradually revealed to us, you know, over the course of time. Joseph Kosinski, he wanted to give us a very unique sci-fi and also visual experience and a very unique storytelling, I guess, experience as a whole. And I think he really gave us that, because not only, in my opinion, is the story complex, but it is very engaging on a very visual level, because you have them filming on exotic locations, like on Iceland, and also another location, well, which is the Sky Tower. And what I mean by that, by the classic sci-fi movie feel, is that I like that they filmed like on practical sets, like on location, excuse me, on location and practical sets, which is something that we don't get a whole lot of. We keep on seeing movies being filmed on green screen and a lot of CG work. Well, Joseph Kosinski, he doesn't do that. He gives us more of that practical feel, and it just makes us completely engaged to the film, because from a director's standpoint, he really brings us into the movie, especially since he's using the Sony f/65 camera, which is shot in complete, amazingly beautiful high resolution, and also giving us that IMAX full frame format, which is really needed when you're watching a film like this, because it really transports you into a really war-torn Earth. And I love that Joseph Kosinski really wanted that for the audience. So great direction on his part. With regards to like the rest of the direction in this film, I felt that this movie is a lot like Tron Legacy in terms of the pacing, but it is a lot more engaging than Tron Legacy. What I mean by that is that I felt that Tron Legacy had a lot of stuff that was very, like, it was missing. There was something missing from the movie. But when there was action, it was really spectacular. The same thing with Oblivion. When there's action, it's pretty cool. I won't say it's the best action and it's the most exciting, but it's not too bad. But what got me engaged the most is, of course, the story and how it develops. I felt that the action really complemented the movie, but it wasn't all about the action. Like I said before, this is a science fiction story with action in it, but it is in no way an action-packed movie. It is not like Minority Report or War of the Worlds. It's nothing like that. This is a very, very, I guess, It's got that classic sci-fi feel. I don't know how to explain it, but I really like that about the movie. There's a lot of spaces between action sequences, and I didn't mind that at all because what really kept me engaged, as I mentioned before, is the story. And I think they got some really decent characters in this movie, especially the character played by Melissa Leo, that would be Sally. I love that she was really repetitive in her I guess in her character. She always asked them, "Are you an effective team?" She always spoke in a Southern accent. Well, that's her character. She's from the South, so she speaks with a Southern accent. And I felt that little dynamic about that character, about her character, really just made her character come to life as someone who is like a higher up person, a higher up individual, I guess. It really made her feel like she was, you know, you don't want to mess with her. Because you saw one side of her, and then when there's insubordination taking place, you don't mess with her. Because she unleashes the drones. Which brings me to talk about a slight, maybe a little bit of a flaw about this movie. And that is, when I was watching the trailer, I couldn't help but feel that the only antagonists in this film are the drones, which are those little orb things with guns on them. And it made the movie feel, it made the action in the movie feel a little bit, I don't know how to explain it. I just feel that the action felt kind of empty to me. And even though I mentioned the action is not a big part in the film, it still is a part of the film. I mean, there's this amazing chase sequence with that helicopter thingy. I don't even know how to explain it, but that thing they fly around, and also these orbs chasing them down. And I felt that while it was cool, it just didn't feel that exciting to me because we've seen a canyon chase before done many times. But Joseph Kosinski still did a good job in terms of making a very engaging film. I mean, it was exciting at parts. Some parts it felt a little slow, but at the end of the day, I feel that he crafted a very unique and complex science fiction storytelling experience for all of us. This is a movie that simply needs to be seen in the IMAX format to really take it all in a very grand experience. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. There are a lot of people who said that, oh, this story is just kind of dumb. You know, like it doesn't feel very original. It's got like elements borrowed from other types of movies. But I still feel that it was a very unique experience in the sense of storytelling and also on a visual experience. Not so much the action. I didn't really care as much for the action. It had some cool parts to it, but other than like you know some moments of I guess action, it still didn't make me. I didn't feel that excited about it. What I felt most engaged to was the story. And of course the great and wonderful cinematography. Also the music. The music really brought all the scenes to life. And I love that Joseph Kosinski decided not to go for you know, your traditional composer and music producer like James Horner or John Williams or Hans Zimmer or you know people like that. I'm so glad that he decided to go with M83, the band, and you know, he did the same thing with Daft Punk for Tron Legacy. I felt that M83 really brought a very kind of like an urban feel to this movie, and it brought every scene to life, and I love that about it because it really brings you into the movie. When you're engaged to the film and you're watching it in the full frame format, you can't help but feel transported into the year 2077 on a war-torn Earth. So that's all I really have to say about this movie. I really enjoyed it. I won't say it's the best, one of the better films, one of the best films that I've seen, but it is one of the better films that I've seen so far, okay? And it was a very unique sci-fi experience for me. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope that if you decide to watch it, that you watch it in the IMAX full frame format, if you have that format available to you. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I was thoroughly satisfied. There are things that I felt that could have been better, but other than that, it was a very enjoyable experience. Alright, that's all I have to say in this video. That is my review for Oblivion. Why don't you let me know in your thoughts below, in the comments below rather, what are your thoughts about this movie. As always, if you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, and also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Pretty badass. So, hopefully that's going to turn out really awesome. I don't know, but we'll see. So that's what's coming out later on in the future. No release date set yet.